Hello, how are you all doing? It's so nice to see you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being part of this great, loving, bright, and successful family because that's what we all are. From the bottom of my heart, from the depths of my soul, I thank you for your words, your comments, and for paying such close attention to what I share with you of the, weekly astrology and how the planets are moving. As always, I send you a big hug from my soul to yours. Well, this week we're looking at November 10th to the 16th. Last week was the start of it. We saw things were a little crazy, right? The supermoon, Mars, Venus, Uranus, Mercury. This week, all of that energy remains. When I give you the weekly recommendations or when I share them on TV, the effects don't always happen on that exact day. Often they're felt that day or in the 2 or 3 days that follow, depending on the transits or the aspects. But for example, when the planets are in retrograde, which can last 3, 4 months, 3 weeks, the energy is there before and after. I try to explain, I try to be as clear as possible, even for my own sake, because sometimes I get all mixed up myself with so many numbers, so many planets, so many things. This week we have Jupiter. Jupiter is going to be in retrograde. Jupiter is in Cancer and will be in retrograde until March 10th, from November 11th to March 10th. Well, if you've been following me, for years I've always said, both here on my YouTube channel, on social media, and on TV, that what retrograde planets do is make me reorganize, reorder, review, reschedule, everything that has to do with the prefix re. Why is that important? Because, for example, Uranus returned to Taurus. It's going to be there for a few months. It was in Taurus for many, many years. It moved to Gemini, it returns to Taurus, and it remains in retrograde. Why did it return? It returns because it's part of the planetary movements. And it returns to tell us about the energy of Uranus combined with the energy of Taurus. How many things did we put off for later and never did? How many times did we lower our heads to avoid problems? It's not about confronting or wanting to have conflicts or to fight. No, not at all. No. No, the fights don't solve anything. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about conflict resolution, about reaching agreements, making deals. And if it's not right, I'm leaving. But not at the first sign of trouble. You can't be like a balloon that pops when it gets near a pin. No, you have to have the strength of a basketball, a leather one, that won't break no matter how many pins you stick in it, no matter how many times you try, right? What I'm referring to, what I really mean, is that this has truly been a year of great personal and collective growth for everyone, a year full of much learning and self-discovery, a time of many masks finally falling off, of realizing and recognizing the bluffs and facades that people live by, of understanding the importance of belonging to certain groups or certain social circles, and of finding our own places within them, all while growing and learning together. The movements we've had with Neptune, with Uranus, with Saturn and Pluto, well, needless to say, on November 19th of last year, we had the change of Pluto from Capricorn to Aquarius, and it will be there until the beginning of January 2044. That one is pulling the rug out from under all of us on every continent and in every area of life. This year has been a year of a lot of growing, learning, keeping what's good and getting away from what I don't want in my life, because we don't know what's good and what's bad. I mean, what I want to say is, whatever's good for you, stick with that. This year taught us not to let anyone put their foot on our necks. And what's coming, because we still have November and December, the movements are going at full speed. They're really rushing, run. They want us to make a lot of changes, but they're all for the better. That's why the planets are in retrograde. Maybe you wouldn't have said it. How many times are you in a job you don't want to be in? And well, you take a deep breath and you keep going, you keep at it, and you find a way to like that job you're in. And when you accept liking that job you're in, you accept liking it, new paths open up, new opportunities open up, and new jobs come to you. That's all the planets do. They tell us what the air is like, if it's snowing, if it's windy, if it's raining, if it's hot or cold, that's all. And a retrograde planet, what does it tell me? Jupiter, now that it's going to enter Jupiter in Cancer, which will be in retrograde from November 11th to March 10th. Okay, what does it tell me? Carefully analyze, thoughtfully observe, and thoroughly check everything that has to do with or is connected to all aspects of your life. This includes everything related to negotiations, your job or career, travel plans, the way you think, and your overall philosophy of life. By trips abroad, I mean that the trips abroad should not end because Jupiter is the new home of the foreigner. Yes, you're going to start questioning not your values, right? No, of course not. But if you're doing what you're doing because you want to do it, or if you're doing what you're doing because you were told it had to be done, that's what Jupiter in Cancer is going to do. And everything will be related. Cancer is about family, it's about home, it's about motherhood. It is about returning to what is real, to our essence, to our roots. Because we are all the result of our roots, of our ancestors, of our lineage. Let's not forget where we come from, because by remembering where we come from, we will know where we are going. And let's remember that this time we are living in is to know who no, maybe we will not be chosen by other people either, nor will they want us in their lives. Perfect, I think it's great, but it's time. Imagine that many times the skin will be too thick to make decisions, but we can also be very steady. Don't talk to me like that. But you didn't say anything to him, you just said good morning. You always called him that, and today you say good morning to him. Sensitivity. If I'm explaining myself, then we're all different. We all have different signs. Everyone, absolutely everyone. No one is the same. There's no way. All maps are different. But the most important thing we need to do here is, what have you left behind? I'm going to emphasize it until it's necessary. What have you stopped being, doing, and having simply because you belong? Yes, well, you have to keep up the pace, you have to live there, you have to bring those clothes, and you have to... If I like my house, my clothes, hey, the stroller I brought, why do I have to change it or what? It's taking me and bringing me back. What's the problem? What's more, I don't even know how to drive. I'm not talking about myself. I'm using it as an example. No, I don't drive because I don't want to drive. Yes, I know how to drive, and very well. This is a week where I invite you to talk to yourself. It's a waning moon week. On the 11th, it will also move into a waning moon. And the retrogrades continue. We have, Neptune, Saturn, and Uranus, and Mercury. What happens when Mercury is in retrograde? Be careful with communication, with everything that has to do with communication. Remember that Mercury is travel, signatures, contracts, agreements, negotiations, delays, information, surprises, news, everything that is communication. During this time, it's suggested that we pay close attention to everything we're writing, what we're saying, and yes, check it. Because you will end up sending an email to someone you should not, or a text message. Or your phone will be left on, and you're speaking ill of the person you were talking to, but you didn't hang up on them. That's communication. It makes me laugh because it's already happened to me. I've already sent an email. I've told you. Oh, dear Lord. I didn't say anything bad. I told the truth. And well, people aren't very prepared for a Sagittarius's truth. Without further ado, I'll move on to the astrological recommendations. A very good week, my dear Aries. Yes, a very good week, but don't say a single word about how well things are going to go for you. Just receive it because abundance and the universe are with you. They're by your side. There's very good news at home that will fill your heart with a lot of peace and a lot of joy. You also have opportunities to do something new or something different. It's a week for signing things. You can sign if you need to. But I suggest that if this thing you have to sign, because you must sign it, is something you've already analyzed, observed, you've already discussed it, as you know, this was already talked about before Mercury retrograde. I've always told you this. Anything we've done or planned before, and we're just continuing with it, moving forward as we had originally intended. In other words, everything that was already set in motion previously is simply being carried on, just as we discussed before. while Mercury retrograde, we can do that. If for some reason you have to sign a contract that is extremely important to you and you can't wait because Mercury retrograde doesn't end until November 29th, just review the details perfectly, the commas point by point. You also have a very interesting opportunity to resolve a communication issue. You will reach some very good agreements with one of your family members, not someone you live with, but they are part of your family. You're going to reach a lovely reconciliation, which makes me very happy, my dear Aries. You'll also receive very good news. The 11th, 12th, and 13th are very important days because you're going to get great news about a stalled project that will start moving forward quickly and very favorably. For Taurus, very favorable changes are coming and continuing for you in your financial life. Let's remember that we had the super full moon in your sign last week. Plus all that planetary movement that happened, right? Well, this full moon, super moon is charging you up and has filled you with a very special energy. That energy isn't just going to last for 1 week. If on that day you made a lot of decrees or visualizations or affirmations, Taurus, that when you, as they say, when you set your mind on something, no one can take it away from you, right? Well, those ideas you've been having, you can indeed put them into action. It's time to not hold yourself back, to not limit yourself, to claim your space, to take your place. You have very good fortune coming your way. Avoid jealousy. Yes, it's not worth it. Jealousy in relationships of any kind, family, social, work. Remember that what is yours by right of consciousness is yours and no one can take it away. You have tremendous amounts of talent, my dear Taurus. You'll receive good news in your work environment, about something you are asking for, needing or wishing for, of course. But Gemini, an excellent week for you, Gemini. Listen to this. Everything you've thought of or started since mid-May, early June is going to grow like wildfire. I mean, like wildfire, it's going to be huge. Your intuition and your perception along with Jupiter, because Neptune is giving you amazing intuition and perception, and Jupiter, remember that Neptune is in Pisces, which is water, and Jupiter is in Cancer, which is also water. It's creating a perfect pairing for your perception and your intuition. Through your sixth sense, you're going to hit the nail on the head in a meeting, event, or gathering to say the exact, correct, and appropriate word benefiting you and the people involved in this project because it's beneficial for everyone. Through your social contacts, you're going to advance very quickly and efficiently with a plan, negotiation, or project, something you've truly wanted for a very long time. It also continues, yes, when I tell you the start of a romantic relationship or the formalization of a romantic relationship, it's on the table. It's up to each of you to decide if you want to reconnect with your past or start a new romantic relationship. But it's definitely in the cards, my dear Gemini. For Cancer, everything related to partnerships, unions, family, love, travel, and changes in your home's organization is looking very favorable. Well, Jupiter is in your sign, and it will be in retrograde starting November 11th. This will help you rediscover lost parts of yourself and reconnect with your loved ones. There's a reunion with your loves, your family, your people. It's something you need right now, my dear Cancer. This week, you'll also be presented with something new, something different. It is very beneficial, but remember to put your antennas up and detect lies and deceit. Use your psychic antennas so that through your intuition and perception, you can observe facial expressions and body language. And you'll realize what's a go and what's a no-go, that the project is worth it, that the financial changes are also worth it, of course. But by analyzing and observing, you'll figure out who to negotiate with and who to simply thank and walk away. For Leos, you have the strength, the dedication, the commitment, and the will to make things happen. Well, then it's time to move forward. Yes, my dear Leo, it's time to knock on doors, to send emails, to make calls. It's time to take giant leaps. If you can think it, yes, you can do it, because to think is to create. You think it, you do it. You think it, you do it. You think it, you do it. Because just by overthinking it, we end up not doing things. You and everyone else, that's how we are. So you have to think and act. This is a very good week. A very good week, Leo. Something you've been waiting for. And listen, I'll tell you since when. If I'm not mistaken, it's from late February, early March. It's a procedure, an agreement, a signature, a contract, some money, something that was just like that. Blocked, 100% blocked. It's time to truly trust that everything you think, everything you deeply desire, becomes a reality. So now it's time to trust. Time to move forward. Good fortune, triumph, success, and prosperity for Virgos. It's a week of many things. Your schedule is going to be completely packed, lots of responsibilities, lots of things to do. If you can delegate a little, it will help you a lot, so you have a bit more time to keep thinking, observing, and analyzing. There will be applause, rewards, recognition that will bring you results, especially in your professional and financial life. Through your social contacts and your friends, there will be a meeting, event, get-together, or a reunion. It could be with friends from your past who will give you some extremely valuable information that will greatly benefit your personal and financial life, and of course, with benefits for your family life as well. Nothing is by chance. Life isn't a coincidence. Life is a causality, the law of cause and effect. You have left beautiful footprints, loving footprints, luminous footprints. And many people from your past, in one way or another, grateful for everything you've done for them, will support you in this new thing that's coming into your life. Lots of recognition, my dear Virgo. For Libras, good fortune. Everything has to do with good fortune, abundance, and prosperity. We know, my dear Libra, that abundance lives in your gifts. That you are a person with an enormous amount of gifts. It's time to open cycles and to close cycles. Time to put your cards on the table and to clear away the cards that were already there. Time to make decisions. Yes, we know that you, my dear Libras, are loving, beautiful, and precious, but you struggle so much to say no to things or to ask for what is rightfully yours. If you, with your mind so strong, capable, and powerful, visualize it, decree it, and say it, even without being in front of that person, that energy will reach them, my dear Libra. I know you prefer to keep things peaceful and calm, and you will continue to do so. But this is a week for making decisions, and important ones. I repeat, decisions. They are not just decisions, they are important decisions. Because they are beneficial for you, for your short-term future, and for your loved ones. There are signatures, contracts, agreements, and pay close attention since we have Mercury retrograde. Just double-check what you're signing, observe it carefully. Absolutely nothing will happen. I've had to sign things during Mercury retrograde myself. Of course, I always light a purple candle so my guardian angel guides me so I don't make a mistake when signing and can see very clearly what it is I'm signing. It's a week where love will also be very present. With your family members, there may be gatherings, parties, very loving ones. And you are also planning trips for the coming weeks. And the trend of moving houses or remodeling your home continues. For Scorpios, very good news. You see, with Jupiter in retrograde as it is, it's no big deal. Jupiter, which is the planet of abundance, triumph, success, prosperity, expansion, philosophy, and so on, is with you, giving you the master key, my dear Scorpio. It's time to receive everything that is rightfully yours. If you have sown, as you know how to do so well, with care and attention, the harvest will be abundant and plentiful. You sowed the seeds, you nurtured them with dedication, you protected the young plants, and you fertilized the soil with nutrients. That is precisely why, starting from this week, you will begin to see truly great and remarkable results from all of your hard work and efforts. Take a moment to appreciate the progress you have made. The harvest will be enormous. Also, for Scorpios, there are, at this particular time, quite a lot, or perhaps just a few, noticeable changes and shifts in your way of thinking, feeling, and acting. Some of these changes are more significant, while others are less so, and this all depends on your own personal spiritual growth and development. Now you're paying a bit more focused attention to your intuitive side, which has been leading you to the right places and people for your plans. Because when we, my dear Scorpio, with that powerful mind, connect with the universe and ask the universe for what you need, it gives you the perfect keys to open all the doors. This is a week that will bring you much joy and happiness. Besides, it's the birthday week for some of you, where you will receive very good news with a lot of peace and tranquility. I repeat, in your professional and financial life. For Sagittarians, the doors to your finances are opening wide, Sagittarius. Many projects that you had in the works around May and June are now starting to come in like a waterfall. On top of that, a cascade of opportunities is coming for Sagittarius, and it's not just for this week. All Sagittarians are born with good fortune, with abundance, with prosperity, because their ruling planet, Jupiter, makes them that way, definitely. But this week is very important because you got rid of people you shouldn't have had in your life. These people, it's not that they were an obstacle, because in life, things are never obstacles. They're tests of endurance, right? That's all it is. So you Sagittarius were going through tests of endurance, and you started distancing yourself from 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And now you've realized that there are many opportunities in front of you, new horizons. And you saw this at the end of September. You made some kind of purchase, sale, negotiation, signing, contract or agreement that was very beneficial for all the new things you're experiencing. And I'll say it again, it's not just this week. Right now, this week, you're going to start seeing, and I'm not talking about a little trickle, but the faucet has been turned on full blast. And a lot of abundance and prosperity is coming in various areas of your life. Oh, and travel. What can I tell you about travel? Lots of trips. That's something Sagittarius loves. Trips, moving house. Of course, Sagittarius loves that too. And pay close attention to your intuition. This week, you're going to realize a lot of things. The blinders are going to come off your eyes. And well, that's just how you Sagittarians are. How we are, I should say. As we Sagittarians are, we tell people, I bless you and release you with love. I wish you all the best, but you no longer have a place in my life. So keep moving forward. Don't let any dream stealer stop you in your tracks. You've already gotten rid of a lot of those little energy-sucking ticks, haven't you, Sagittarius? For Capricorn, strength, dedication, and commitment are with you. That's always the case. You are all, well, you're super hardworking, you're go-getters, dedicated, disciplined, and so on. And I love it because, not everyone has your intelligence, or your creations, or your ideas and all that. Well, this week, it seems you're going to get together or do something where you'll see the results of something you wanted to happen to work out. What I mean is that many creative geniuses are with you, and you are very calm and serene because you trust in their abilities and their knowledge to make things happen. The house of money is very well aspected. It indicates that you might be starting to create a very good balance between your income and expenses to do something new on your own, to start something on your own, you'll know what to do because you have a great capacity for buying, selling, negotiations, for doing business. That's very much you, Capricorn, very much Saturn. Also a long-awaited opportunity from one of your family members. Favorable answers are coming that will fill your heart with joy, of course, and the hearts of your loved ones. For Aquarians, travel continues in your life. They're short trips. Many of them are work-related trips, for 2 or 3 days or a week. But I ask you to keep your psychic antennas raised high, because on one of those trips, there will be watchful eyes observing what you know how to do, the talent that you have. And with those incredible gifts you have, which are wonderful, you can do more than what you're doing to this day. Am I making myself clear? You can be in any field, in the area where you have your profession, but also, many times, extra things can come up thanks to you as a person, to your capacity, your dedication, your commitment. You need to stay very alert. I'm asking you to do that. Short trips for 3 days, for a week. Stay very alert to everything that's happening around you. This week, you're also going to have a meeting, event, or gathering in your professional environment where you'll lay your cards on the table. You're going to reach very good agreements. That's a given. You Aquarius always manage to do it. Remember also that right now Jupiter is in Cancer and Pluto is in Aquarius, so you'll always be protected. I know Mercury retrograde, but it's okay. It's something you had already thought about weeks ago, so it is time to move forward. Surround yourself with some good quartz crystals, with a good meditation before you go to the meeting, and visualize everything working out in your favor. For Pisces, the very favorable work, professional, and financial changes continue, if you've wanted to make them. If not, well, you're doing well anyway, definitely, right, my dear Pisces? Look, for several weeks now, you've been experiencing abundance, triumph, success, prosperity, good fortune, and so on. Remember that Jupiter is in Cancer, Cancer is water, and you are Pisces and you are water. Neptune returned to your sign, Saturn returned to your sign. That is helping you a lot to give you drive, strength, desire, absolute spirit that you've always had, because that's how you are. But right now you seem more liberated. You say, oh no, I'll go. Oh no, I'll tell them. Oh no, I'll face it. There you go. Because you are always so prudent and so patient that you wait a little for everything to fall into place on its own. Oh my love, there are times when you have to step in to arrange things yourself because they're putting things out of order. It's important to get ourselves settled, calm. This pen goes here, this pencil goes here, this goes over here, and this goes over there. You've been doing it for a few good weeks, my dear Pisces. So it's time to receive. I invite you to do an exercise in front of the mirror. You're going to sit in front of the mirror. When they say, you sit on the mirror, and how do I sit on the mirror? Well, you can't, right? You sit in front of the mirror and you say your name out loud and you tell yourself, I deserve it. I deserve it all. I am a spectacular being. Everything is in my favor. I am a unique, wonderful, spectacular being. And you state your dreams, desires, and wishes. They are yours, but you have to believe them. You like for others to be well. Good. Just as you like for others to be well, make yourself like being that well too, physically, mentally, and spiritually. They're coming, well, the trips continue, right? Something normal in the life of a Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks to each and every one of you for being part of this great, loving, luminous, and successful family. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and hit the bell so you don't miss everything we have for you. My website is Mizada-Mohamed.com. And if you have a question, you can send me an email to Mizada at... no, that's not it, right? It's Diselo. Diselo at Mizada-Mohamed.com. I was giving the old email address. Diselo at Mizada-Mohamed.com. And my social media is Mizada Mohamed. Just like that, Mizada Mohamed. Verified. Because maybe you see photos of me with... it's not me. If the little check mark isn't there, look, it's very, very easy. The only one where I have about 200 and something thousand followers is on Twitter. Other than that, on all the others, thanks to you, we have 800,000, 2.5 million, 2.5 million, 900,000. I don't sell anything negative. I don't give consultations. Don't allow it. Don't believe in that. I mean, it's not me. I ask you with much love to spread the word about it. Much light, my beloved people. Remember, if you stop being you and I stop being me, we stop being ourselves. Let's be ourselves. Let's be happy. That's what living is about. I am Mizada Mohamed. I love you all and I want to see you thrive. Thank you very much for graciously joining us today. Please subscribe to our channel and kindly visit my personal website, Mizada-Mohamed.com.